Pace car is off. We're ready to go green here for 160 laps around Richmond Raceway. 40, 40, 80 are your stages as Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick lead the way to the green flag down and towards turn 1. 3 races remain in the regular season. 3 positions remain on points in the playoffs. If we do not see a new winner today, no matter what the situation is, Tyler Reddick will be locked into the playoffs on points. There is no way he can fall any lower than the 2 drivers behind him on points, even if he finishes dead last in the next 2 races. Denny Hamlin leads this opening lap. Denny Hamlin always been a big threat when it comes to Richmond Raceway. He has had a lot of summer kind of heat going literally here this season. He's picked up quite a few wins so far in this summer stretch and has so far been easily the best driver here over the last month or so.
Started on pole, led the first lap, and out to a very early lead here in Richmond so far is Denny Hamlin over that 8 car of Tyler Reddick right behind him. Well, you know, wants to get into victory lane, secure himself into the playoffs, and not have to worry about somebody potentially eliminating him, as we do still have 3 spots remaining.
Top 10 runs so far with that team. They need a little bit more than a top 10 run, as we nearly see that 18 and the 19 come together on the exit of turn 4.
A bunch of our larger name drivers back here as well. You got Logano back here. You have Chase Elliott, William Byron.
Kevin Harvick. Truex was so strong in that late spring to very beginning of summer, but he's kind of fallen off and leveled out a little bit, and we've seen Harvick close that gap with a couple of wins. So Jay, right now Harvick has a 1-point lead over Kevin Harvick, and we know how important those extra playoff points are going to be for that regular season championship, and now it's proving that it's going to come down right to the final race of that regular season here in a few weeks time.
Kind of in that playoff bubble picture, but right now currently 30 points above that cutoff line. Actually, we've had a crash.
Yes, we have.
We had our first caution of the day.
And you see some damage right there on the back of the 77 of Landon Castle. Caution is out. Here's a look at what happened. Greg Biffle actually gets into the back of Landon Castle right on his right rear, turns him around. Biffle up into the wall, Castle back first into the wall as well. Caution flies from Richmond. Back underway here from Richmond. Denny Hamlin leads again down towards turn 1, and we are already past the halfway point here in stage 1. Just under 20 laps to go in this opening stage, so we did about half and then a caution, and then we'll run this last half here as Tyler Reddick is all over the back of that FedEx Toyota Camry here.
So Suarez actually the first of our bubble drivers right now in this race, way ahead of Briscoe currently, and then you have Almirola and Kozlowski right behind him. So I think even Austin Dillon also might be right behind them as well. So all 4 of our bubble drivers, Gary, right there together, and then Briscoe's way back in the back.
Denny Hamlin is going to come through out of turn 4. Hamlin, who has a only single stage win on the season, gets his second here in Richmond there. So another 10 points as well in the regular season championship battle. Crucially, gains on both Kevin Harvick, not by much, and Martin Truex Jr., his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate as well. And pace car is off, ready to go green for the start of stage 2. Denny Hamlin, your stage 1 winner, once again leads the way as Christopher Bell, we saw him make a big gain there out of the pit lane, up a position in front of Kevin Harvick. A bit of a slow restart for him down towards turn 1 here now, as we see Reddick and Larson, the drivers that have been 2nd and 3rd so far all night long, just behind that number 11 of Hamlin. Truex a little bit wide there on the exit of turn 2. Here is Logano up the inside, and there's that 9 of Chase Elliott. And Chase Elliott did not start this race out in a good position, but we've been slowly watching him crawl himself forward, and now he's inside the top 10 here at the beginning of this second stage now, as he's going to try and follow along with Logano and maybe get past that 19.
A great race so far in Richmond.
Oh,
as we see some smoke in the background, that might have been Suarez maybe for a moment. He might have been able to save it though, and I think we're going to be able to continue without a caution.
Here's what happened. Michael McDowell is going to get into the back of Suarez there into turn 3, exactly what we saw earlier, leading to an accident between Biffle and Castle, but fortunately this time around both drivers are able to hold on to their cars.
Kevin Harvick here, Gary, suddenly all of a sudden he was running inside the top 4, and now he lost a spot in the pit lane, and ever since then has been dropping like a rock in this race. He's almost outside the top 10 now.
And Bowman has now moved up into 4th place as Christopher Bell, as this run has gone on, our longest run of the night so far. He starts to fall down the order here now as Kyle Busch looks up his inside as well in that number 18 M&M's Toyota Camry. And Jay, I mean, it's certainly been proven that it is difficult to pass here, especially when you get in the top 10. It seems to get a little bit more difficult, but one car that we've seen that's been able to consistently work their way forward is that M&M's Toyota Camry, Kyle Busch, and he just completed another pass there.
Denny Hamlin is going to get his second stage win of the day, sweep the first 2 stages, and so far, Gary, in Richmond, it has been all Denny Hamlin, a track that we know he absolutely loves to race at.
So far, it's a Hamlin sweep every single lap. Led started on pole. Under caution, developing story here. Tyler Reddick, as we are coming to 1 to green, has dived down in towards the pit lane here. And Jay, We have to wonder, doesn't look like we don't see anything coming out of the back of that car. Maybe they have a potential loose wheel there with that number 8, which absolutely changes everything for Tyler Reddick here and takes his chances away of any chance of a potential victory here tonight. So now, getting ready to actually take the restart, and that moves Kyle Larson and everybody else up one position here. Bell into third, Kyle Busch into fourth. Denny Hamlin leads the way here as we head down towards turn 1. And Jay, it's not just been a Denny Hamlin show. Joe Gibbs Racing in general been very strong here under the lights in Richmond. Christopher Bell and Kyle Busch in the top 5, and Truex as well in the top 10. All Joe Gibbs Racing cars inside the top 10 here, and actually another Toyota, Bubba Wallace, just barely outside that top 10, who's been working his way forward as well.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin, I'm sure as well as probably had a little bit of help in that because we know how much he loves this track. I thought I saw Chase Elliott might have gotten a little bit loose right there off the corner, but obviously was able to keep it all right, fighting alongside his teammate of Alex Bowman, who lost a couple spots in the pit lane. He's going to lose maybe another spot here to Ryan Blaney if he's not careful, if he's not able to find his way into that inside lane momentarily here. Eric Almirola also right behind this battle here. He's been making his way forward up inside that top 10 now. He's another one of our bubble drivers here. He needs to have a good race or two here, probably even 3 races at this point, and unless he wins.
And there's Logano actually trying to maybe catch that 18 off guard there. Maybe he's going to get alongside down the front straightaway, and maybe that's the car we need to be looking at all of a sudden here. We'll see what happens here through turn 1 as well as turn 2, and that 22 looks pretty hooked up there on that inside. Down, Jay, this might actually be a relatively easy pass for Logano here down into turn 3.
Much easier than I was expecting it to be. I thought Kyle Busch would be the one making the passes here, but he's actually getting passed easily by Logano. Chase Elliott now to the inside as well of that 18 car. So Elliott's been another one we've seen made his way forward. Also Logano as well. Actually, all 3 of these cars right here are guys we've seen to make their way forward in this race. So I guess all 3 of these cars perhaps have some speed, and maybe we didn't realize.
Caution is on the track. Daniel Suarez with heavy damage there to the front and rear end of his car. Caution flies. Denny Hamlin continues to lead, but that is a huge upset right there for the Trackhouse driver. Here's a look what happened. Daniel Suarez goes for a ride up the nose of Stenhouse, actually gets turned up and over the 99 Trackhouse car, and the 17 piles in. Big damage there. That might be the end of the day for Chris Buescher, but a huge crash for Daniel Suarez. Now the cars are into the pit lane here. Denny Hamlin leads the way, hasn't put a foot wrong so far as that FedEx Toyota Camry driver and team here. Jay, this could be a crucial stop, could be the final stop of the day. It will be the final stop of the day actually here. Hamlin, by the way, looking a little bit slow there on the get down on the right side. It'll be interesting to see if Larson maybe has anything for him here.
Larson exiting his box now. Let's see if Hamlin actually leads late, and Larson, Bell as well, is going to grab the ahead of Denny Hamlin. Hamlin all of a sudden has lost the lead, Gary, and it's the one way we've been talking about where they would have to get around him on pit lane.
Kyle Larson, who's stuck behind Kaz Gralla, though, leads the way. Back underway. Here we are in Richmond with just over 35. It is 35 laps to go here. Denny Hamlin has dominated this race, but we know how hard it is to pass. He's going to need maybe a little bit of assistance, but this right here might be the assistance he needs, as Kaz Gralla being planted right in front of the leaders of Larson and Bell, who are just in front of that number 11 car.
Happen. Kyle Larson perhaps trying to force something to happen now, because if he doesn't, Christopher Bell might take advantage, or Hamlin might take advantage of that as well and trying to fight his way back to the lead of this race after dominating. Oh, there he goes to the inside of his teammate Christopher Bell. Almost contact between those two, Gary. It's getting frisky up here in front with that 50 car still in the way, and Larson has not been able to find his way around as Hamlin fights back to the inside for second.
Yeah, there he goes. If you're Kyle Larson, you have to go now. They might be 3 wide here on the exit of turn 4. Bell giving up some track position. Hamlin's all over the back of that number 5 of Kyle Larson. Maybe even going to look for a move. Here he goes up the inside. He's not waiting around. I mean, what is Kyle Larson doing here?
Chase Elliott's here.
Yes, Chase Elliott's here. Larson's to the outside of the 11. They're going to be side by side. I mean, as much as this sucks, this is really spiced things up here with Kaz Gralla being in front now, and there they go. And Gralla, I mean, Jay, doing exactly what you hate from lap cars, but this actually is going to work out tremendously for Hamlin. They're going to split him 3 wide.
3 wide. 3 wide into turn number 1 for the lead. 1 lap car, 2 lead cars fighting for it. Larson all the way up on that high side. He's going to have big momentum off turn 2. He might be able to clear Hamlin here. He's fighting back to the outside. That Kaz Gralla losing spots, and Larson almost clearing to turn 3. Not able to do it quite yet, though, Gary. Now we're going to see the true speed the 5 car and the 11 car have. And don't look too far, because Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. are here as well, and Kyle Busch as well. And as well right now, that 5 car of Larson, Gary, is certainly not as strong as the 11 of Hamlin, who now is clear for the lead, and Chase Elliott now having to fight for second place. We saw Bowman start up front. I think he might have gotten a couple of poles, and he had really good runs, maybe even in the stage one. He's going to get turned by Cole Custer, and that's going to be a late race caution.
Caution's gonna fly. Custer turns the 48 around, and oh my goodness, we were talking about his struggles to finish out these races. That certainly adds to it there. You saw it all happen right there. No need for a replay on that one. You saw exactly what just went down. Denny Hamlin leads, and it's a great launch for that FedEx Toyota Camry there. That 9 maybe gets caught a little bit sleeping right there down towards turn 1J. That's exactly what you're trying to do if you're Denny Hamlin. Now already puts a nice little gap right there, about 2 to 3 car lengths. 2 to 3 car lengths between him and that number 9 to Chase Elliott. Overall, pretty calm restart actually for this pack.
Coming to grab the white flag in this race, Gary. It's going to take some kind of maybe a bump and run or something from Chase Elliott here if he does want to get to that 11 car and move him out of the way and get the lead away from Hamlin, as he's still not even on his bumper heading into turn 1 and 2. Elliott maybe just a tiny bit faster, but not enough time at all for that 9 car.
3 wins on the season for Denny Hamlin. The most of anybody is 4 from Martin Truex Jr. Hamlin's about to tie that under the lights as his hot summer stretch continues. Denny Hamlin sweeps all stages, wins in Richmond, and win number 4 for Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Truex, and Kyle Busch. The rest of the top 5, and Kevin Harvick is going to round out the top 10 just over that number 12 of Ryan Blaney. 2 races remain, like we said, in the regular season. Next week being Watkins Glen, the penultimate road course race of the season. And like we said, we hope to have a Kimi Räikkönen car in there for his Cup Series debut, which would be a big moment for the sport we're looking forward to. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. That is going to wrap it up for us here today. Denny Hamlin becomes a 4-time winner now on the season and continues to bring himself into the regular season championship battle. That does it for us. We will see you guys next week. Have a great day, everybody.